Hey, welcome to this overview video about Yurbi. I'm going to give you a high-level look at Yurbi, a tool that's designed to connect live to your data sources and make it really easy for you to share that with your stakeholders, your internal customers, your external customers, your team, so that they can leverage your data to make decisions. So I'm logged in right now as an agent user. Think of this as a view-only user. This is going to be the majority of users that have access to run reports and to view the dashboards that you create. I'm logged in. You can see right away they're on their dashboard tab, and they've got a dashboard here of service desk information in this case. And the goal is that this is an interactive dashboard of live data that they can quickly go in and apply filters to get into the segment of data that they want, interact with that data by quickly seeing the information behind a visualization. So that's a quick drill down there, and to be able to create views and save these as potential reusable filters that they could come back in and look at later. So the dashboard gives them the ability to see multiple sets of data. Each time I load a dashboard, it's going to go real time. And these are all embeddable. You can embed these inside your existing software. You can white label it. We'll talk about that in a second. But the goal is really to give users information at their fingertips so they can see information converted into ways that allow them to drive decisions. In addition to the dashboard, the regular view only user has access to our library. And inside that library, they'll be able to see many different types of reports, to run reports individually, as well as to be able to schedule reports. So they can go in and pick the frequency on how often they want to get this report emailed to them, and they can email it to themselves as well as other members of their tenant or their team in a very secure way. Now, let's take a look at the builder user, because that's going to be the user type that is actually able to build these reports and make them available to your team. Now I'm logged in as the builder user. The interface looks very similar. I'm looking at the same dashboard the agent had, but now you'll see on the sidebar the addition of this builder item. This allows this particular user type to go in and actually create the reports. Now, because of our data level and multi-tenant security, you can enable anyone in your organization to build and limit them to just the scope of data that they should see. So the way we do that is we have this concept called an app. It's designed for non-technical users to be able to build reports. This is your repository of your help desk database. They click on that, and you'll see that we give them a listing of report types. So these would be the different types of reports that they might want to pull from your data source. We'll pick on service data, and you'll present them with a listing of fields out of your data source that they have access to report on. Again, the data that they can pull will be limited by their data level security. Now, to build a report, it doesn't require writing SQL. It's a no-code builder. They just simply pick the fields that they want to have in their report. You'll see as I pick these fields, we're doing a live query, bringing back 50 records and showing them that the content of those fields are what's expected. Then if they want to go ahead and build a report, let's actually add a formula. We'll count up our tickets. So you'll see that there's lots of methods to easily allow them to build SQL functions and formulas. And I'll add a sort order on that. And let's keep our fault type in the report, but make it non-visible. And you'll see that we just created a nice summarized report of how many tickets we have by customer. And then the other power they have is to pop that into a visualization. So if I want to quickly turn this into perhaps a column chart, I can top customers, add in that count, and I've got a chart of those. This is a very busy chart, so I might want to bring that in and make it just the top 10. So you'll see with just a few clicks that you can build very powerful types of charts and visualizations and data sets. And then as that user saves this report, they're able to then go in and make it accessible in that team library we looked at the agent level and assign permissions on who has permission to see those. So now let's take a look now at the admin side and show you how you set this app up and how you get connected to your data and apply your white labeling. So I'm logged in now as the administrator. I have access to everything we've seen before, but I also have a couple new components. I have the architect. That's where we're going to build that semantic layer that the builder is going to use to build reports, what we call the app. And then I have access to settings. Let's go into the settings because this is really the first step you do as you install Yurbi into your environment. In fact, there's a nice onboarding guide here that would walk you step by step on how to set it up. But the key things is the first thing you would do is go under your integrations tab and start to connect to all your databases or bring in spreadsheet data or connect to API endpoints. That's a very simple process. And once you have that connection, the next thing you would do is go into what we call the architect and build that semantic layer. So once you have, for example, we saw the service desk ticket app before. By configuring that, you can see all the report types that we created. And if we were to look at that report type, you can see behind that was a set of database tables. So within Yurbi, you're going to be able to go in and have access to all the tables in your database, bring those in and build the relationships behind them. So build the joins, and then expose just the fields that you want to expose to those users. And if there's things like transformations or calculations you want to do, you can put those right in the architect module here to build those calculations so that your builder at that point, they won't have to do that. So it's a pretty easy process to get from connecting to your data, building your semantic layer, and then back into the settings, you're able to provision your users, create those builder users and those agents with exact permissions that you want them to have access to. So you'll see I'm able to give the builder explicit apps and specific group permissions. And then there's a lot of other things in here that you can do, from branding, white labeling, setting up your brand with your logos and your colors, turning features on and off, setting up your logos and your colors, assigning individual branding to each tenant if you want each tenant to have their own personalizations, enabling what features you want to be turned on or off on a per tenant basis. So there's a tremendous amount of power to set Yurbi up exactly the way you want within your organization, and you can do it really quickly. If you do have any questions and you want to get a deeper dive and talk about your particular use case, please look at the link inside the description or on the comment of where you're seeing this post. There'll be a link back to our website where you can request a live demo or even start a trial and get going in your environment. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.